Water and coins. Do they go together? Are they worth more? Are they worth less? Will they get wet? I'm not talking about actual water damage, but stick around and I'll give you a couple of examples. So, water and coins. Where am I really going with this? No, go away. Don't panic. I am not going to add any coins to water. Don't worry. But before I do explain, can I please ask you to consider maybe subscribing, as it helps the channel grow and get suggested to others? Thanks. Okay, let's just forget all this watery silliness, shall we? So, what am I getting at? To be honest, it's quite simple. I'm going to show you two coins from two different monarchs with different face values, where water actually plays a small but significant part in the design that many don't actually realise. So here we go. Hang on to your seats. Well, we all recognise the design of Queen Elizabeth II on the halfpenny from the very well-known design by Mary Gillick. And on the reverse, you've got Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind, and that was a design by Thomas Humphrey Paget. Now, in 1957, the sea under the ship started to change from a calm sea to a rough sea. And now you can see where I'm going with the water. On their own, you wouldn't really notice the difference, but side by side, you can. So here you have a close-up of the calm on the left and the rough on the right. Both types of coin are the same weight, diameter, composition, as you'd expect. But there isn't a known figure of how many of each variety was actually minted. Only an overall figure, which was 39,672,000 or so. Now, the rough sea variant is a lot easier to come across, with the calm seas being the goal of all collectors. And it's this version that's been known to change hands on auction sites like eBay for anything between £2 and £8. So if you were to buy a bag of mixed pennies, or half pennies I should say, most, if not all, 1957 halfpennies will be rough seas. If you get a calm sea one, hang on to it. The rough sea design was then solely used from 1958 to 1967 when they were last issued. The other coin that I've been teasing you with is from the Edward VII era, and it's the 1902 penny. So that's a 1902. There's Edward VII. The obverse on this one was designed by a chap called George William de Saulles. And the reverse is what we came to really recognise over the next 100 years, almost next 70 years. And that was the picture of Britannia holding her trident in her left hand, resting her right hand on the shield. And that was designed by Leonard Charles Wyon. The coins were identical in weight, diameter, composition. Like the 1957 halfpenny, there's a small change in design. In this case, the tide is lower on one version and higher on another. The high tide seems to be the more common variant. Although low tides do appear on other coins, there isn't a year that there's a mix of low and high tide. It's either one or the other. And these have become known as the low tide and high tide pennies. And the prices reflect how uncommon they actually are. I don't like to say they're rare, but it's not always accurate. But they are out there if you shop around. So maybe you've got a bag of pennies and halfpennies you thought had been picked through. So if what I've just told you is new information, it might be a good time to dust them off and check them again. So good luck. I hope this fairly short video down a somewhat watery memory lane was interesting. And if you like the video, please consider a like and subscribe. So as always, thank you for staying to the end. Cheers all.